We have quite a selection of OCG deck profiles for you guys today. So one dug out probably some of the roguiest of rogue ideas I've honestly seen really this side of the rainbow for this game. So without further ado, let's dig on into this. So the first one I'm going to be looking at is Time Thief with some interesting card choices. We have the 10 E's packed in here. We also have an Abyss Actor engine packed in here because Curtain Riser being able to special summon itself to kind of act as an extender for this deck is actually really fire. I actually don't know if I would have considered this. So we play 2 copies of Abyss Actor Curtain Riser. Starter, once again, this plus level 4 monster. Start your Time Thief combo. We have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. 1 copy of Ghost Bell. Triple copies of Max C. Triple copies of Gamma. And then we play Tenyi Mabura, 1 Nahata, and 1 Shinata. So just because you can special summon all of these, level 4, level 4, level 4, by the way, actually quite ingenious for what they're doing here. Then we play 2 copies of the Time Thief Bezel Ship, just to be able to recur this onto the field. Then, of course, we play triple copies of Regulator. The fact that you control no monsters, you contribute this card to special summon 2 Time Thief monsters with different names from your deck, except for Time Thief Regulator. This is literally going to be the thing that's going to make your life so much better, because you just go into the Bezel Ship and then into fucking Space Window here. So Space Window here, so you can detach a material from Nixie's monster, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is no more special summon, you can add 1 Time Thief card from your deck to your hand. So this does allow you to tutor for more of your newer support cards that we don't quite have yet in the TCG soon, though. Then we have the 1 Scythe Frame Driver for our Gammas. Spells here, we have Triple Called by the Grave, 1 copy Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 copies Instant Fusion, 1 Pot of Desires. Then we have the 1 Time Thief Startup. So you can special summon 1 Time Thief from your hand. During the main phase, you can banish this card from your grave, target an Time Thief Exceeds monster, attach up to 3 Time Thief cards. 1 monster, 1 spell, 1 trap card from a graveyard to its material. And you can only use this effect of startup. So basically, this just allows you to kind of tutor out for more materials on your big guys, which is actually something that we've needed. Considering what we're trying to do with Time Thieves in this day and age, like, this is very good support. And we have 2 Solemn Warning, triple copies of Ancient Cloak, once again, another level 4 starter that we can kind of combo with. 2 Time Thief Flyback, and then 2 copies of the Time Thief Retrograde. So when a spell or trap card is activated while you control Time Thief Exceeds monster, negate that activation. If you do, attach that card to a Time Thief Exceeds monster you control as material. You can only activate 1 Time Thief Retrograde once per turn. Then we have 1 Lambda, 1 copy of Gravity Controller. This card is literally everywhere right now. 1 Tornado Dragon, 2 Redoer, triple copies of Perpetua. So Perpetua, during your standby phase, detach material from this card, target a Time Thief monster in your graveyard, except for Perpetua. Special summon it. And then quick effect, you can target 1 other Exceeds monster you control, attach 1 Time Thief card from your deck to it as material. This card is really good. Then we have 1 Utopia Lightning, 1 Baguska, 1 Utopia, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Omega, 1 Thousand Eyes Restricted, 1 Starving Venom, and 1 copy of the Mud Dragon. Down here in the side, we have 2 Pankratops, 2 Droll, triple No Material, triple Lightning Storm, triple copies of Super Poly, 2 Grand Horn of Heaven, and 1 copy of Imperial Order, wrapping up this list. Honestly, for Time Thief combo as a deck, I like this. This seems like a really fun concept that you can kind of just pick up and mess around with for funsies. So, kind of can't wait to see once we get this support in the TCG to mess around with this. Next up, we have what appears to be Karakuri with Infinity Track. Now, for those of you that don't know, Karakuri just got a huge boost coming out of the last set, and we got some very interesting cards for this. So one of them being the Toad here. This card must attack if able. This card's targeted for an attack. You can change its battle position. And then banish this card from a graveyard to target a Karakuri monster control. Change its battle position. You know what we like to do with this guy? Extend. Also, it's a tuner. So when you step it into burritos, you can, further step into the Burribos. So Burribo, synchro summoning, special summon a Karakuri monster of your deck. Your defense position monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. And then once per turn, if the attack position of a Karakuri monster is changed, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. Classically, this card is really good. Honestly, all the Karakuri support is really good. It's just, we needed a good machine monster to allow for, burrito strategist to do its thing. So, we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of Gizmek Mikazuchi, the Nuclear Emperor, 2 copies of Tunneler, 1 Jet Synchron, 1 Shinkurdo, 1 copy of Ninishi, 1 Hypa, 1 Nisamu, 1 Nishipachi, and triple copies of the Shurikenu Kishi. Then we have 1 Saizon, triple copies of Maxi, triple copies of Olai, 2 copies of The Rock, 1 Cobra, 2 copies of Scorpio, 1 Wielder, 1 copy of Scrap Golem, triple copies of Scrap Recycler, 1 Takum Tumborg, 1 Terratop, 1 World Chalice, and 1 copy of the World Crown. Then we have triple Called by the Grave, triple copies of Crossout Designator, 1 Foolish Burial, triple copies of Instant Fusion, triple copies of Iron Call, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, 1 Monster Reborn, triple copies of Urgent Schedule, 1 World Legacy Succession, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, wrapping up the main deck here. And here in the extra deck, we have the 1 copy of the Scrap Wyvern, 1 Needle Fiber, 1 Cloth Heap. Ooh. The fact that, you get just so much added value off of this, and Synchro basically just giving an extra 700 buff over the opponent, seems really good, actually. We have 1 Boral Sword, 1 VFD, 1 Wonder Magician, 2 Burrito, 1 Bure, triple copies of Buribo, 1 World Chalice Ib, 1 Theseus, and 1 Cybersaurus. Then we have 2 Lancia, 2 Phantasmi, triple copies of No, 1 Nibiru, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Mind Control, and triple copies of Red Rebuto, wrapping up this list. This honestly seems like more of a fun-paced deck. I really love the concept of good stuff. Just, you kind of mash all of these engines together, and when the deck moves, it literally moves. I think that's one of the coolest concepts about decks like this. So, yes, I do think that there is potential for machines in the future here, especially when we actually get, our next wave of support for Karakuri. We'll have to wait and see, though, because sometimes we don't come up with the same cool ideas the OCG has. Then the last list we have here is Cosmo Rockets. Rocket Tracer destroys Cosmo cards, which is actually really cool. So literally, quick effect, target 1 face of card control, destroy, and if you do, special summon 1 rocket monster from your deck, except for, Rocket Tracer. So, being able to blow up a ship, toggle down into your next ship, or, wherever you want to go, seems pretty free to me. So, we take the synergy plays where we get them. So, we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom, Joyous Spring, 1 Ghost Spell, 1 Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Dark Destroyer, 1 copy of Cosmo Dog Fighter, 1 Farm Grill, 1 copy of Slip Rider, 1 copy of Strawman, triple copies of the Tin Man, back at it again, 2 Cosmo Dark Lady, 1 copy of the Magno Rocket. Then we have triple copies of Maxi, 1 copy of the Rocket Recharger, 2 copies of Rocket Tracer, and 1 copy of the Silver Rocket. Spells, we have 1 copy of Boot Sector Launch, 2 copies of Emergency Teleport, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, triple copies of Cosmo Town, triple copies of Quick Launchu. Then we have triple copies of Crackdown and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, wrapping up the main deck here. This seems like a very interesting concept on paper, but I'm kind of curious to know, application versus theory. Does this stuff actually come up? Then we have 2 copies of Striker Dragon, of course, standard for this deck. 1 copy of Ningrisu, 1 copy of Linkaribo, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 copy of the IP Masquerina, 1 Needle Fiber, 1 Brute Enforcer. And then we have 1 copy of the Boral Sword, 1 copy of the Borreload. Then we have 1 Time Thief Redoer, 1 copy of the Dragon Ogre Deity of the Tenyi, 1 Darkened Dragon Coon, and 1 copy of Borreload Savage Dragon. So deck here we have 1 Scythe, 2 copies of Gizmek Orochi, triple copies of the Rock, triple copies of Lightning Storm, 2 copies of Artifact Sanctum, 1 Impure Order, and triple copies of Typhoon, wrapping up this chunk of OCG deck profiles. So guys, what do you think about this week's OCG decks? I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Feel free to leave a comment. I always am reading them. And remember, tomorrow is Market Watch, one of my favorite days of this week. All right, guys. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.